So in answer to one of the questions that came up in our Instagram Q&A, how to motivate children who are being dragged to training. So we're just taking the assumption here that the child themselves doesn't want to train, and they've probably made that known to their parents, but the parents feel that it's still really important for them to go to training, or for whatever reason they want them to be there. There's a difference of opinion there, and it's obvious from the training the child doesn't want to be there. So from first principles, what can we do to make our training sessions more exciting, more challenging and more fun? So we want to look at it as, well, the child is first a child, and then secondly, they're a student of Taekwondo. So if our sessions are well planned, with very little downtime between our activities, if we have quick transitions from one activity to another, if we have lots of action in those activities, all of those things will help to make the sessions challenging, fun, exciting, and that will appeal to most children, not just Taekwondo children. We also need to allow opportunities for leadership and decision making for the children. We need to keep fairness as the golden rule within the class, and we need to have an equal opportunity for everybody to experience success. And usually if kids self-organise, they pick teams that allow for the scores to be equal or level. Within Taekwondo as an activity, that takes some imagination on the part of the coach to make sure that every training opportunity allows children in the class to experience success and feel like they all have a chance. Then, even if everything is like textbook or is good, children still can be unhappy because we don't control every aspect of the whole picture. So if you feel that your sessions tick all of the boxes, that you've tried adjusting the roles that the children have, you've given opportunities for leadership, etc., and the child or children still aren't happy, you kind of have to then look at their impact that they're having on the class. So their unhappiness may have a negative consequence for the rest of the people who are training in that class. So then we may think that it's better to act constructively, chat with the child, chat with their parents, assess their motivations, both the child and the parents, and the interests of the child, and maybe even go so far as to recommend a different activity. You may need to add to your class by subtracting that child from the group, and not just for the benefit of your class, because that may then improve the atmosphere, improve the general feeling of happiness in the class, but it'll also be beneficial for that child because then they're not building up all of this negativity about an activity that they're being pushed to that they don't want to attend. Leaving things as they are can lead to some resentment over time, and that negativity will only spread. So eventually that child will have a negative impact on the motivation of the other children in the class. They'll tell negative stories at school and at home about their experiences training with Taekwondo. And the parents eventually, when their child inevitably stops training and leaves, will probably resent all of the money that they've spent, the time that they've invested. And in that situation, nobody wins. So in summary, you address your class first, make sure that your classes are engaging, fun, full of action and child-centred. If it still isn't suiting the child and they don't want to be there, maybe address the idea that it might be better for the child to try another activity that's better suited to them and their interests, and have that discussion with the parents before long-term resentment kicks in and affects the quality of the class as a whole.